Hi everybody. Is this recording? I hope that it is recording because I am quite new in terms of recording off from a web page. So, we all know that there is a rework for the class Phantasma. And as someone who has mained the Phantasma before, and also I had used Phantasma to climb to master rank in the arena before when the CP gap is still big. I think I will be responsible for giving many Phantasma players some insight on a new rework. So I just came to this Korean BDM website, and darkness basically is Phantasma. Okay, many of the things that I'm going to mention in this official web page is going to be a little bit of a direct translate, but it's okay because I know the class good enough to give you all a clearer insight on how the rework is, be it can be good thing or a bad thing. So let's start. And first of all, it says that the darkness, the attack range of the technique is concentrated in the front, so the hunting efficiency was low when monsters approach. So basically this means that her attack is linear and doesn't have many 360 degrees or angles AoE skills. So her hunting efficiency is decreased. My opinion is the first sentence is already a bullshit, because besides darkness, there is actually a lot of other class who attack is in the front, is concentrated in the front, like what this developer say. So even without the rework, Phantasma is one of the best PvE farming class. So we have Archer, we have Archmage, we have Shy, we have Phantasma, we have Nova. These are some of the popular PvE classes. So nevertheless, the developer said that her farming is shit, and they buff her up. So I guess it is a good news for Phantasma player. So basically what they do is that they added this skill, which is a passive, right? Spattling darkness. So every time when your MP is full and the skill is used for 20 seconds, it automatically fires a phantom sword to attack nearby enemies. So basically, you just do your auto farming, and once in a while, there will be swords flying around and aim for a monster to damage them. And basically, the whole thing, the first paragraph, means your PvE will improve, because the flying sword, this passive, is random. I assume that they target random enemies, so it won't be concentrated in the front like what the developers say. Maybe the sword will fly to the back, will fly to the side, or whatever it is. So your farming efficiency improve. And with more hits from the extra phantom sword, this explains the increased overall damage. So blah blah blah, that's it. Okay, so in addition, by applying forward guard to the effect of the touch of exploitation. So this touch of exploitation is actually Verdian Shockwave. So instead of a super armor, you can use forward guard. But bear in mind, this is not applied in the arena. It is only applied in the field. So you can use it in GVG, you can use it in Battlefield of the Sun, Not Wash, Siege War, or whatever large scale, and Black Sun, whatever large scale wars that you have outside of arena. No grab effect to the Twilight Fast. This is actually the Phantom Dash. So while you're dashing, it is a super armor skill, but last time while you are dashing, any grab class such as Kunoi, such as Grandmaster, such as Titan, they can grab you while you are dashing, while you are in the middle of dashing. But now this non-grab effect basically means you are as good as invincible, but you just take damage, but you can never get CC, right? You can't get grabbed and you have super armor, so you won't get CC. And his Spirit Legacy skill is Umbra. So now Umbra, when you use Umbra, you have this dark curtain zone whereby the damage you receive, especially when you are trading super armor, because Umbra is a super armor skill, the damage you receive is now decreased. This is because you can go invinced into the Umbra. You basically just disappear like Reaper Invince skill. So basically every time you use Umbra, right, your opponent's camera lock is gone. Exactly the same as Reaper. So Umbra, if I remember correctly, has 2 charges. So if you use 2 charges, the opponent will have 2 chances whereby their camera cannot lock you. Exactly the same as Reaper. Alright? So basically this will be the new thumbnail for the skill, Scattering Darkness. As you can see, summon a phantom sword to attack nearby targets when using skills, but not all the time, only when your MP is full. And once it is full, this effect will apply for 20 seconds when using skill, right? But then, if this is a reason you want to change class to Phantasma, it is not a good reason. Sorry, excuse me. This is because look at the PvP damage. It's only 150%. Yep. 150% is very little in PvP arena. And bear in mind, this only activates when your MP is full. So when you use other skill that consume MP, this skill might not activate. However, they also buff the MP recovery of Phantasma, which means I think some of the skill use less MP, or some of the skill can rejuvenate more MP. Basically, they're trying their best to keep Phantasma MP full most of the time, which means they want this passive to trigger most of the time. But the PvP damage is quite low. But it is high enough for PvE farming. And if your CP is super high, 25,000 and above, this passive can be very deadly in Battlefield of the Sun. Imagine you don't have to do much shit, you just walk around spamming some skill while keeping your MP full. One small stupid blade from the Phantasma with 150% PvP damage can kill you. Imagine how many blades will be flying around killing people. But that is if your CP is super high. And this skill, Umbra, basically the AoE become bigger, right? I watched the animation. The AoE is bigger, which explains the attack range increase. And the deepening curtain of darkness effect basically is what I said. You go invincible and you receive 30% damage reduction for 1.5 seconds, which is a lot. Stealth for 1.5 seconds, which is a lot. And as I mentioned, they tend to want your MP to be full most of the time to trigger the passive. So it recovers 5 mana every 0.5 seconds for 1.5 seconds within the range of this skill. So you can do the math. It recovers about 15 mana every 1.5 seconds, and he has 2 charges for the skill. So if you use twice, it'll be 3 seconds and it'll be 30 mana recover. Alright, how you want to maintain the passive activated most of the time, you go to the math, do the math yourself. And this is the twin blade. So basically they improve the distance of twin blade, which is a super armor skill, which means you can better clip your enemy in the arena, or you can disengage from the battle further and safer, and basically make the skill more natural while in a running motion without the user stuff. This skill, Elemental Oxidation, I don't even know the name in global. This is because this is one of the most useless skill. You don't use it in PvE farming and you won't use it in PvP. So nonsense skill. This is one of the big rework. So this is Dark Cliff. So the Dark Cliff now has a flow. It's called Falling Darkness. Basically, right, when you hold the extra button, instead of one sword falling from the sky, you now have 2 swords. And the second sword will fall from the sky at a much quicker speed than the first one. So when you press the skill one time, the first sword, the Dark Cliff will be like zoom, right? But now with the flow, if you hold the button, when you press the Dark Cliff, it would be zoom zoom, right? But then the second Dark Cliff, right, of the Falling Darkness, the flow will not be the full damage of the first Dark Cliff. It will only apply 70% of splitting dark skill damage. I don't know what this is, but basically the damage is reduced. And this skill does not have super armor. So when you are using the Dark Cliff, even with flow, that means the duration will be longer. I mean, you'll be standing in the arena at a longer duration while using the flow that is not super armor. So you must be careful not to get clipped by the enemy when you are using the flow. So this Dark Cliff has 2 charges as well, if I remember correctly, since I've played Phantasma for a long time. So together with the flow, you will have a total of 4 attack. So it will be zoom zoom. Then you press one more time, zoom zoom. Right? So this is the rework. Basically the flow just means instead of zoom, you will have zoom zoom. Okay? So this is Verdant Shockwave. So not many stuff is being changed for this skill. Basically it just apply forward guard instead of super armor, right? Only in the field, not in the arena. And like what I've mentioned, this Phantom Dash, right? You can't be grabbed and you have super armor. So basically you are invincible, but you just take damage. You can't get CC'd, but you take damage. Okay, so reduce cooldown, blah blah blah. Sorry. And absorb Black Spirit Rage. So basically when you realize, because this class use MP, right? Sometimes your Black Spirit Rage, you can't go into the bar number 5, right? Phantasma and Void Knight, these 2 classes, when you press a Black Spirit Rage, it's not instant. You need to charge it. And you can charge up to level 5. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and you use MP to charge. So basically now they make it easier for you to charge it to the max, level 5. Okay, basically this just means that, right? And sometimes you can't use your red color black spirit skill. There's a blue and there's a red. The red one is the damage one, right? It's because you don't have enough MP. But now they make it easier. Same, they just make it using less MP to do the same damage. So overall, if you ask me, if this rework worth for you to CC to Phantasma, there's only the few type of people who will CC, right? Which I suggest and I recommend and I advise. First, you are a fucking bloody whale. You are a 25k CP bastard and above. For that, you change to Phantasma. Why? Because with all these new passive and stealth, which mean almost invince for Umbra, and more damage and more charges for the flow for the Dark Clave, and forward guard for for Verdant Shockwave. In mass PvP, if you are high CP, this class will be a god. In arena, you can also be a god, because if you are high CP, Phantasma skills is known to be one of the highest PvP skill damage class. Right, so we have Lancer. Lancer is fucking scary, right? His one skill is fucking painful. So we have Lancer for melee, and when it comes to range, people think of Phantasma. Phantasma is a burst type of hero, classes, character. So if you're a whale, you're a high CP asshole, this class is the best for you. But if you are a low CP player and you do not wish to play arena and you do not wish to whale hunt, which means going beyond your CP to achieve higher rank in the arena, you play this class. Because this class now can farm super fast with the new passive. It can farm super fast. When you are on auto farming mode, judging by my personal experience playing Phantasma for so long, your MP will almost be full most of the time, which means your passive will be activated most of the time. So your farming, if the map allows you to one-shot the mob, you will achieve a higher kill per minute KPM than an archer, then Corsair, then Nova, then AM, then Assassin, then any class. You will be number 1 PvE farming class if you can one-shot the mob. And by one-shot, I mean this extra 200% damage of this passive can one-shot the mob. You will be the god of PvE in the entire Black Desert MOBA, right? But if you're a player like me who has a decent CP or considered a low CP and trying to whale hunt, which means to go rank that is way above what your CP allowed you to, this class is a no-no, because this class doesn't have a forward guard, it doesn't have an invincibility, right? While the stealth in Umbra is quite good for cancelling the opponent's camera lock, but it is definitely not sufficient, I tell you. Well, this class has lingering super armor from Umbra, right? And from, what is that called? Twin Blade. It is not enough to fight all these current meta classes such as Corsair and Berserker. Well, this class has a lot of high burst combo damage, which I've shown in a lot of my videos, right? I have almost 10 Phantasma video. 1, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I have almost 10 Phantasma video. I can tell you, well, it has high combo burst damage. It will not be enough the Whale Hunt. But if your CP is around Count or Duke, this class will be good enough now for you to perform well in the arena, because you will have high combo damage, you can tank some of the heat, you can trade a little bit of super armor now because of the improved Umbra, which make you receive 30% damage reduction and makes you to be in stealth for 1.5 seconds, which disturb enemy camera lock. And also coupled with the increase in PvP damage from 50 to minimum PvP damage from 50% to 75%, people who are Count and Duke above will perform well with this class. So I think this is what I want to share. So if you guys have any questions regarding to Phantasma, which I deem myself quite confident and have some expertise in this class, feel free to comment and ask me any questions. I will reply you as soon as possible. In the meantime, enjoy BDM, have fun, and good luck. Bye.